Hello, hello. There it is. All right, my bad. My mic wasn't working. I was talking that whole time. I was just saying that I didn't trade yesterday. I slept in. I was getting over sickness a little bit this week, so decided yesterday to take some extra sleep and make sure I was feeling better. Other than that, I won't be trading today. I'll be watching, but my account is deactivated right now, and I'm going to be doing a demo account on my own personal login. So I was trying to get funded through Apex for a while. I'm gonna take some time to kind of re-strategize. Nothing too crazy, nothing too different. But just try to approach things a little differently and, backtrack or, back test things on a demo account so I can feel more confident before I continue to pay for Apex accounts. But, really where I'm at right now, I got rid of the zones. I'm just using levels based off the hourly time frame. I really like that. You can see it's working out pretty well in terms of like the top of that rejection last night.
What was that?
Got kind of this rejection up here. Anyways, some things to watch out for. What's good, brother? How you doing?
Good. How did yesterday go for you?
Not so well. I woke up late. I slept in, and then I just took one trade that was a loser. But
all right.
Excuse me. Yeah, I realized I shouldn't try to trade on days where I like wake up late and just stumble to the computer. It's never really a good sign.
It's hard though, you wake up late and you're like one of the only things you look forward to in the morning.
Yeah, I woke up around like 7:30, so the market was opening my time, and then I was I like showered and everything, and it was like 8 o'clock, and I was like, oh, it's still pretty early in the day, I could catch something. And I got on and just traded like an idiot. Just tried to trade counter to the trend and got blasted. But it's all good. I watched a really good video on liquidity liquidity and price action from that Scarface dude.
Was it new?
It wasn't super new, but it was newer. It was one of his newer videos, but it wasn't like new. Maybe last week?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen any of his recent stuff.
I liked it, and then I went back and was just looking at the chart, like trying to recognize what he was talking about. He's talking about like external and internal liquidity levels in terms of like if you're looking at it like a swing high and a swing low, those are like the external liquidity, if that makes sense, like the extremes. And then like internal liquidity is like like pivot highs or pivot lows like within those swings, if that makes sense. He's talking about like looking at break and retest, and like, because often, like, say we have a high a day and then we break it, and I'll think like, okay, I want to see us come back and retest that high a day that we broke. But you're saying like you don't always get that. Like sometimes you come back further, like you pull back further into like an internal liquidity.
Right.
And so I just started looking at like price action the past couple days and like seeing if I could recognize that, and it's actually pretty insane. Like just thinking about it and seeing how it plays out. Or like, yeah, price action breaks low a day and then doesn't necessarily come back and retest low a day. You know, it will make a higher swing high than that or whatever, but really it's just testing like an internal liquidity, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I think the hard part is just being able to identify that in real time.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's always easier after the fact, but I don't know. It wasn't something that I was like thinking about. I guess I was always like focused on the external liquidity rather than internal.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's his.
I don't fully understand that.
I would check it out. I would look. It's his second most recent video, so it's from last week. It says like, I studied every price action strategy. These three made me profitable. So he talks about like liquidity, but then he also talks about like, you know, not trying to predict it and like watching price action play out and then making a decision like based on if price action agrees with, you know, your liquidity or whatever, or like agrees that it looks like it's strong and gonna bounce or reject.
Right.
It was, I don't know, I found it valuable.
Yeah, no, that's legit.
Also, I think sometimes when you just, I don't know, get too far from your own, you know what I mean, when you stop following your own rules, you start breaking rules, it's good to kind of go back and watch something like that and be like, oh yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
How you been, man?
Platinum has absolutely taken off. This is crazy.
Let me take a look at it.
We're at like a 60.
Oh my god. Yeah, dude, that's insane. From just this morning, oh my gosh, it pretty much just opened or not even opened, like pre-market. Wow.
Yeah, no, in the last like, how long is that? Fucking 25 minutes? No. Yeah, ish.
Dang.
Moved like 16 points.
So what
That's
I'm...
$800 a contract.
That's insane, brother.
That's wild.
If you're looking at are you looking at the 5-minute chart on Platinum?
Yeah.
So basically like the external and internal liquidity, like that spike to say like 953, that's like an external level because that was like a swing high in this price action. But if it pulls back, like it could pull back to say more towards like 950 where you see some like consolidation or confluence in there, you know? I guess so that's what I mean.
How do you identify that like the 950 area is internal liquidity? Is it just because it consolidated there for a sec?
Exactly. Like we have a wick there, we have a candle close, we have multiple candle closes there and multiple wicks there. So it's just like a bit of consolidation. So it's like I'm not saying it is going to pull back to there, but if it started to pull back and, you know, it's say it like sold through 953, that would be where I'd be watching, is like that 950 area.
Right.
As opposed to like before, I would probably just primarily watch around that 953 and be like, oh, it's going to retest the previous high.
Right.
But since that
broke below it, and then you just assume it keeps going down.
Yeah, but because that that like 953 high, like it's such a fast spike, like it spiked up and immediately sold off. Versus like I'd have more faith almost in that like 950 area because there was consolidation for, you know, 20 minutes or so in that area.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's just stuff like that where it's, I don't know, I didn't really think of things like that. I think I still have a long ways to go in terms of like fully understanding liquidity and how that stuff works.
It makes sense. I mean, everything you're saying doesn't sound foreign to me. I guess I've never really thought about playing that.
And his whole thing is like waiting for price action to confirm it, you know, getting like a 5-minute close or whatever.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, and I've noticed that a lot of those guys, their strategies involve such big stop losses,
yeah,
and it's hard to do that with. I feel like what we're trying to do, because like at most we're like platinum. I'm risking like I don't want to risk more than 2 points, you know.
yeah,
But even if it goes at 2 points, it doesn't invalidate my trade yet. So it's
yeah,
kind of hard to get out of those because I'm like, well, technically it's still in an uptrend. I'm just down 2 points, so I have to get out. And then it, obviously keeps going up. So I'm like, well, fuck, why did I get out?
yeah, yeah. No,
So I feel like finding the strat or like the setups that clearly like if the stop loss is also the same spot where a change of trend would be, then that's like an A+ setup for me.
for sure. No, yeah, I feel that. And sometimes when there's a lot of like volatility in the market, I have struggles trading it because those like you said, the levels that might invalidate the trade are like 40 points away. And so it's like, well, I don't
Right.
want to have a 40-point stop loss necessarily.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think for something like NQ, you kind of have to have like, unless you just have sniper entries, which you can never guarantee. But I think you kind of have to allow yourself a little bit wider stop loss just because it moves so much.
How many contracts are you usually taking on the eval account anyway?
I usually would do like five to 10, 10 if I'm feeling spicy. But the average buy is like 5 contracts.
What is your like average stop?
Like 10 to 15 points.
Yeah.
And then my first trim is usually around like 20 to 25 points. So around like a 2-to-1 on the first trim. And then I try to leave like a runner at least, but that's if things work out well. And it also depends on like price action too, or like previous levels where I put my take profits, obviously. But yeah, I'd say like 10 to 15 is generally where I try to have my stop loss.
Do you ever?
But 10 is pretty
Yes.
tight. 10 will get you stopped out sometimes, even when you're right.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, even if, like, let's say the stop would be like 30 to 40 points away, would you consider sizing down to like 2 or 3 contracts instead, or would you even?
I think it makes sense. If you're,
process?
yeah, no, I think that makes sense, especially if you're like profit goals, say like 60, 80 points or something, Like if you're shooting for like, oh, this is going to be a huge move, I think it makes sense to size down because with less size but a huge move, you can still have that same kind of like
Do
profit.
you do that?
No, I mean, not really. No, I think I might.
Are those 40-point stop loss plays even on your radar?
No,
Or do you even like not register that? Yeah.
no. I mean, lately, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's that wide of like a stop loss, because I usually try to base like stop losses off price action, like swing highs, swing lows. I'm like, all right, we're making higher highs and higher lows. If it breaks that higher low and starts making lower lows, then that invalidates my uptrend.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'll try to base like stop losses off of, and then I try to get an entry that's like reasonable enough to where a stop loss below that swing low or swing high or whatever isn't too dramatic, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. No,
But yeah, like I said, sometimes it's like super volatile and it's like 40 points between swings or something. Yeah, that's when I usually like hesitate and end up not doing the right thing because I'm just concerned about. And you're right, I should probably just size down like 2 contracts or something and give it a go. But
right. I mean, you'd be losing pretty much the same amount.
it's true if you double your stop loss, but decrease your
After.
your position size. No, that's fair. I think I could definitely be trading smarter than I have been. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm actually like, I'm not trading today. I'm just kind of watching, and because I'm trying not like trying some new stuff out, but just I just want to like watch and see if I can recognize things in real time. A bit better.
I wonder, do you think, I mean, obviously emotion has a lot to do with it, but do you think you would do better on like a demo account? Like just
That's
trying out demo
yeah.
for like a week?
No, that's actually my plan. So I canceled my Apex for now, or just like the reoccurring payment. And I'm gonna be trading demo probably next week. I just have to wait. I didn't realize to trade demo, I still have to pay for like a data plan or whatever.
So you can see real-time data.
Yeah, so I had to go back and transfer money to my personal account so that I can, get the real-time data, because I was going to do that and then I realized everything's delayed. So yeah, I'm just kind of watching today, not necessarily trading. But yeah, I would like to like not necessarily change things a lot. I don't want to be like switching things up so often that I can't find a groove, but just like tweaking things and kind of taking a step back and seeing if I can.
Yeah, I mean, if whatever you're doing isn't working, then why keep doing it?
For sure. I realized like I was using zones instead of like levels for a while.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. They're pretty accurate, but at the same time, it'd be like a 50, 60 point zone. I'm like, well, I'm not ever taking trades based off those for the same reasons. You have like not wanting a 50-point stop loss.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm back to just using levels and then like being conscious that they won't be exactly perfect, but like just that general kind of area, trying to get it as good as I can.
I like that.
And then basing stop losses and everything off price action. But yeah, man, we'll see. I definitely recognize I was just trading like emotionally. Also, I think with the Apex account, like I would have a trade start going against me, and since it was a demo, I would just like I wouldn't care about taking a loss. You know what I mean? Like I'd just hold trades too long because I'm like, this is nothing. It's fake money. So I think I kind of got bad habits out of it, mostly just in terms of like holding losing trades.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that's just like a discipline thing, really. That's no fault of like the demo account.
Yeah, no, I get it. Can you hear my music?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I just paused everything. No, I don't hear it. So still just only trading platinum, huh? How's it feel?
Hell yeah, dude. I like it. I like it.
Nice.
I felt kind of guilty switching at first because I was like, man, I've dedicated almost a year of my life to Spy, and then all of a sudden this is working. Like, it feels wrong,
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm just like, I don't really give a shit. Like,
dude, hell no.
Go aside all this stuff. It's like whatever works, then why, do it. If platinum's working for me, then why would I stop doing it?
And something as difficult as trading, if you find like a strategy or a plan that works, I feel like you'd have to be crazy to like ignore it just because of some allegiance to like a stock.
Right.
Like if there's a stock you're trading and it's not working out, like I don't know, that's why I kind of stopped trading like Spy and ES.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I won't trade ES. I probably will continue to eventually.
Yeah. No, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, just because one thing doesn't work for somebody doesn't mean it's not going to work for somebody else.
For sure. You guys do have me, and I was just going to say, you guys do have speaking like an idiot, you have piqued my curiosity on platinum.
Yeah, man, I would give it a go. Just like, it's so basic compared to Spy and Q. Just, I don't know. I feel like it's, I don't want to say easy, but it's like, I don't know. I have way more confidence in the plays that I'm taking on this versus any play I've ever taken on Spy or ES.
Wow, yeah. That's awesome, man. That's such a huge thing, is like feeling that confidence in your trade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe
yesterday was wild. I took a play in pre-market, pretty early in pre-market. It was probably like 30 minutes before market open, and price out of nowhere. It was like, I don't know, I've never seen it really move like this, but it just spiked really far down. And I didn't have my stop loss set, thankfully, because it would have stopped me out. But before I could go and exit the trade, it immediately reversed and put me like $165 in profit. It was like boom, boom, and then I got out. I was like, holy shit, like that was wild. But after that, I was like, there's no reason to give this back, so I'll just call it a day.
Yeah.
But it was weird. That happened out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm looking at like pre-market yesterday about like an hour, 30 minutes before, and yeah, it had some
Yeah,
crazy
I
spikes.
took a screenshot of it. It was
Dude, look at the candle from like an hour before market open yesterday. That doji with like, I don't even, like 10-point wicks. What the hell is that?
ooh, which one? No, that's the one. That was it.
Dude,
I entered.
that's at 7:30 your time?
Yeah. So that's 7:30. So that's an hour before market open.
Yeah. Dude, that
Yeah,
candle is insane.
it shot all the way down. Luckily, I didn't have my stop in place because that would have, fucked me up. And then just immediately shot up, and I got out at 165 profit.
Jeez. I mean, yeah, it like spiked like 3 points perfectly. So
Yeah,
it like just would have barely stopped you out and then went up like 6 or 7 points. That's crazy.
and it's crazy. I literally, like, 50% of the time, I put an actual stop
Yeah.
in place, and then the other times, I'm like, just in case shit like this happens, and it just happened to be one of those times.
Yeah.
It was weird. I can't really call that one skill, but that was nice.
You're smart to just to take it. Like, all right, that's fine by me though.
Yeah, for real.
I had
Even if it
a
did end up coming right back down.
the other day I had a pre-market trade. It was a massive winner, and it was exactly like you're saying. Like I entered it, and as soon as I entered it, I entered short, and it just dropped like 40 points immediately to the point where like I didn't trim any contracts. I didn't even set my stop loss. Like as soon as I got in, it just went my direction. I made like $400 just rapidly in the pre-market, and then I ended up trading during that day. I still ended up the day like up a little over 100, but I gave up like $300 of that profit. And I was like, that was stupid. I had a huge day. I should have just walked away.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to walk away from a day like that.
Yeah, I know, because then you think like, oh, if I get one more of those, I'm up like $1,000.
Yeah, I think discipline is just probably, if not the most important, one of the most important things of trading.
For sure. Yeah, I've been like telling myself I need to meditate more in the morning before trading just to get my mind a little bit right.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Just like, yeah, it takes, I don't know, because that's like the biggest thing about it is being able to like have those emotions or thoughts but not act on them, you know?
Uh-huh.
And I feel like that's like the biggest discipline factor in trading is you're like FOMO or whatever. You're like, oh, I want to get in this trade, I'm missing out. But like just accepting it and waiting for a good setup or whatever.
Yeah, I've noticed the past few months I've just been hyper aware of every emotion I have while staring at the charts
Mm-hmm.
and questioning every single emotion. Like on that spike up this morning with platinum, I wanted to get in at the bottom because that's at the bottom of like this 15-minute trend line that I've drawn.
Yeah.
But as it started taking off, I'm like, oh, that was a juicy candle. Really big momentum candle upwards. It's probably going to continue. I should get in. And then I, hyper aware of that FOMO kind of feeling. And then I was like, well, if I get in, I can't really get out until we go back below that swing low, which is,
Yeah.
I don't know, 8 points. And I'm like, take a step back. That's crazy. Do that.
But if you had,
see it continue going up is like, well,
yeah,
should you? So it's like, man. But having the discipline and self-control to be like, fuck it, it'll happen again.
for sure.
It's helped a lot.
And yeah, good stuff, man. That's awesome.
And that's the shit they can't teach, dude. I wish I don't know. That part is just so crazy to me.
Yeah, that's the
There's
hardest.
no YouTube video in the world that can make you know that.
Yeah, no, that's the funniest thing. Is like support and resistance, trend lines. Like you can learn that in a day.
Yeah.
Like price action, that takes a little bit of time to like watch and kind of learn. Like okay, it's gonna pull under this level and then close back above it, and that's like a good indication of strength or whatever. But like the thing that takes, I mean, the hardest part of trading is just the emotional or like the mental part of it by far.
Yeah.
The concepts aren't so abstract that it's like takes years to learn. It's more just, I don't know,
Just
mastering
about
yourself
rewiring your brain.
for sure. And then it's crazy because you can have periods of time where you are pretty disciplined and you trade well, and then like yeah, something going on in your life, or you're going through a rough patch or something, and that bleeds into trading, and you just go back to old habits. It's
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
And then, but having the discipline to then, or just being hyper aware of your emotions and realizing like that stuff is going on in your life will probably affect your trading. And then having the discipline to be like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't trade is like probably the hardest thing
Yeah,
ever. Honestly, I mean, I look forward to this shit over the weekend. Waking up Monday and then not taking a trade is crazy.
mm-hmm.
That's so crazy.
Are you trading on an Apex account?
It's a top step.
Nice. How's that going?
I am at 1463.
Profit?
Yeah, and I need to get to 3000
Let's
to get a
go,
live
dude.
account. Yeah. So I'm still.
You're like
still
halfway.
yeah, halfway there. Still in the demo though, so
Good shit, man.
slowly getting there. Like I said, I mean, I got reset, not back to zero, but I was like probably at like 1300 a couple weeks ago, and then brought myself back down all the way down to like 500 profit. It was rough. But then taking a week off is always nice. Just resetting.
For sure. What's up, Yvonne?
What's up?
Hello, guys. Crazy, you're strong again.
Mm-hmm.
What are you watching right now, Ryan?
I'm just watching NQ. See, it's pretty strong. So if I were to take a trade, ideally like a pullback to pre-market high or previous high or something.
And then if it broke below that, what's your next level?
I have pre-market high, and then I have a level. What was that? About 30 points below it. It was just like a level on the hourly. And then after that, I don't have anything for a while. To the downside, that is. To the upside, I have a level that's like, let me see. Like 30 points above where it is right now. It's coming up on it. And that's from, what is that, last, oh god, like the beginning of the month, we had some support and resistance in there.
Yeah. Do you know if Q follows like fair value gaps at all?
I don't know, like what time frame do you watch them on? Because I usually would look for them on like an hourly or something, like a bigger time frame. I don't know. I don't really play fair value gaps, to be honest. I've like watched for them, and sometimes they've worked, and sometimes they haven't. I don't pay much attention to it though.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I don't trade based off of it, you know. But I have watched like on like an hourly time frame in terms of like, okay, where would this maybe pull back into?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm just doing it wrong. I understand them, like what a fair value gap is, but I don't think I've ever like been able to necessarily trade based off of them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because we're in an hourly fair value gap. We're about to fill it from, I guess, what you were looking at earlier this month.
Yeah. No, so my level is at the top of that fair value gap, that like 19,500 essentially,
So
right in that area.
I don't know how NQ trades fair value gaps, but something like Platinum would probably close it and then pull back.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I've watched some videos and like tried to understand fair value gaps more, and I'm not. Is that like the play is to wait for the fair value gap to be closed? Because sometimes I watch and they're like, oh, it doesn't always close, or it just pulls into that gap, and then essentially
I think it's really just dependent on how your setup is. Like, what's your strategy? You know, like for Platinum, I wait until a 4-hour fair value gap is filled and then look for a reject or a bounce off of that level. And
Gotcha.
it's respected that a lot.
Okay.
So like that's how I would play fair value gaps with
Yeah.
Platinum, is just the 4-hour and wait for it to get filled. Like I don't really care if it pulls into it. That doesn't really give me anything. So
Gotcha.
it's really just dependent on how that ticker moves, I guess.
So I kind of like without even realizing it, had a level right at the close of that fair value gap. So that was my next level. So I'm playing it without even knowing it, you know?
Yeah.
Unconsciously. What's up?
Yeah. No, it's most of the time that, I mean, if that's the case, like if you have a level there and there's a fair value gap and it's like pre-market high, you know, like all this stuff is lining up, it's like, oh, well, maybe this is a pretty high probability trade.
Yeah.
But it'd be kind of crazy to short this market. Yvonne, you take anything?
No, not today. But this area on a 4 hour on QQQ now is very interesting. They call it like a low volume area. Not much trading in this area.
Do you use like the volume price? What is it called? Like VPA volume, not volume price action. The volume profile. That's what I'm saying.
Profile, yeah. I'm not using it, but I'm seeing it on a price section.
Gotcha.
You see it from Wednesday, like 12th of June. We just.
Damn, buddy, you're going back.
Through this. Sorry.
I'm joking. I gotta go back a couple months to look at the 12th of June. Oh yeah. No, I see it. Just kind of like. Sorry.
Yeah. We just passed through it, and then when we came back on 24th of July, we just run down on this area, and then again on beginning of this month, we just went through and went down. So it's very low, like a volume area, not much resistance or support when you go in one direction.
For sure. Yeah, I got a pretty big pullback from that area. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some coffee and stuff.
Fully, do you watch that break of that kind of flag on Platinum on 1 minute?
On the 1 minute? Let me see. Like this morning?
Yeah.
Like pre-market? Like 15 minutes before pre-market? Is that what you're talking about?
Right on the market open. So we had a pullback from the market open.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of broke it.
Yeah, I see that.
Is that things you're looking for? I'm not trading Platinum. I'm just looking at it sometimes.
I'm more of trend line based, and then like pulls back into areas of liquidity, fair value gaps, order blocks, stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah, this would be my maybe buy area if I'm trading that.
Right.
So like 957.
Yeah. I am waiting for an entry down at 953.
Oh, okay.
And then waiting to see how it acts there, and then probably go long.
Okay, yeah. I'm just curious to see what happens from here. This was like my entry point.
Yeah, we're like at big made new highs from I don't know how long ago. I guess a couple weeks. But yeah, I want to play it more to the upside. I just need an entry.
Why is not really following QQQ today? Yeah, the trade on platinum man would work out.
Yeah. It works.
Strong today. It's crazy.
Is this considering like a strong bounce on platinum? Is this normal or?
Yeah. I mean, this is really strong. Like, this isn't that weird, but I don't see this every day.
Yeah, so it's like 4 points in 2 minutes.
Yeah, like that's pretty unordinary.
It was slow, 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 and then this happened. Pi, maybe looking like a head and shoulder on 1 minute.
Everything kind of slowed down after that move up. In Q, ES, they're all kinds. It's in Q starting to move back up now. Damn, dude, platinum's ripping, huh?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Got that gap fill on in Q. It's like right at the gap fill right now, trying to break to the upside.
Oh yeah.
What's your thoughts on, for example, like this is a gap fill to the down, or well, it was a move to the downside that created the gap or the fair value gap. But then you look at like the past couple days, and especially today coming into it, where it's pretty strong to the upside.
Yeah.
Is that something that you would just say like I'm gonna trade the trend? Because normally I would probably avoid trying to short and instead just looking like the trend is up, it shows strength, try to find like a pullback and long it rather than try to short it. But would you, I don't know, would you weigh that, or would you say that this is like a nice setup to the downside? I guess obviously
So
if you saw weakness in
I
the
look
area.
at it as like areas of liquidity, right? Like where's a bunch of probably unfilled orders sitting, and it's probably at the top of this fair value gap. I would wait until we get to the fill and then see how price reacts. If we just
For
shoot
sure.
right through it, then okay, that's probably not a smart idea to short it. But if we're having some consolidation or an immediate pullback, like okay, then there are unfilled orders here, there are sellers here, so it makes sense to probably just try to scalp something. Might
Yeah.
not be a huge play to the downside, but
I mean, it's just sitting there right now. It touched it, and now it's just kind of like bouncing around. It looks like it can't make up its mind, honestly. Which means I wouldn't be surprised if we did get a pullback from here,
yeah.
just based on it like kind of slow grinded up to that level, and now it's just consolidating a bit.
Mm-hmm. Then again, I don't know how Q does with fair value gaps. Like, does it even respect them? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's fair. I really don't know.
Platinum has been respecting the shit out of them.
was looking for a Jackson in this area.
On NQ?
Actually both 551 on Spy and I have a zone here on QQQ as well. Maybe I missed my entry.
Did you end up taking that play, Yvonne?
No, 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 no. Maybe I should have.
Out for the day, fellas. I'll see you guys
Alright,
tomorrow.
you.
yeah. See y'all then.
See you guys.